Hold up. What's up, guys? Good morning, America. Dolph, what's up, baby? Holla, Anshul, what's going on? Tasty, how many chat rooms you in? Alright, guys, we had a really nice ramp in the markets yesterday. Frankly, the market actually, it was a flat day, but the flat days in the market are really the best days to kind of trade breakouts, I think, because as long as it's flat but above the VWAP, like you get like some nice buy pressure in stocks. Flat days, like when you're like negative on the day, are really tricky because you're not getting any follow through. But as long as like you're standing up like a little bit green, a little bit flat on the QQQs, you get into some really nice action individually on breakouts, which we saw yesterday. There was breakouts galore. I mean, there was literally, breakouts. There were breakouts galore, from our watch list alone. It was like, all these stocks were really, really, like so many stocks were just trending. This docu, like you can see here, that's like some serious range here. When you think about that, like VTIQ, some serious range that was happening yesterday. O&M, trend after trend. So when you get a flat day, but you get like all the stocks on your watch list trend, that's telling you that underneath the hood of the market that you are getting you are getting like a really nice, right? Hold on here. Fucking Amer turd. Always been sending me this stupid thing. Throw me off now. So you can see even here on this work. So now you've got a lot of stocks that are trending. You had a flat or rest day in the market. These are all pretty good things. So now what we got to do today is figure out, all right, like are these stocks getting too extended or do we still have more room to go, right? Now, I do think like, in general, like, we're in a runaway market, so we don't want to be too crazy, just like ripping on the shorts and stuff too quick. But you are starting to see like a lot of stocks probably get a little bit long in the tooth. Rav D, you want any opinion on Dick's? I like mine, but I wouldn't want yours. Jeez, that's nasty. That's nasty for 9 a.m. Let's take a look at the gappers, and we'll go into the regular stocks. I'll take a look at what you guys are all digging into. All right, cool. So let's see here. Western Union's got a PR out. They're buying MoneyGram. Man, Western Union sucks D to trade. Pass. So look, RH has got some nice juice today. I didn't even see any news on this bad boy. I didn't even see any news on this bad boy, but you're starting to get some really good range. Even though this thing has been going up for like what seems like years, RH is only $4 billion market cap. So in general, it's still a fairly mid-cappy, type of stock. I do think like, this is probably worth putting on the watch list. The issue on this one is going to be that there's a spread, and if there's a spread, it's really hard to get even more than, it's even hard to get more than 100 shares. No, Schultz, where you been lately? Jeez. Or for the last 2 years. What's going on? Where you been all my life? So I'd add this, but if you trade this, you got to go smaller. Ideally, on a stock with like a little bit more spread, it's way easier to get it on a pullback to try to chase the breakout. Anybody ever get that sinking feeling like when you chase a breakout, like a near highs, and it's got a spread, and like the bid it just starts to drop a little bit, and it's like your dick shrivels inside you. It just really freak you out. It freak you out. So, we got to be careful. We'll wait for a little bit of pullback and then we'll go. All right. And the rest of this stuff is just all junk. Anybody see any good gappers they like? I didn't see anything particular. I know there's that little penny one that's going. What was it called? Worker lurker? WR? I forgot the fucking ticker. I've been taking them off my scans. I know you degenerates will all, you guys all probably be knee deep in this thing. $2 to $6. Yeah, it's got the range. So what do these guys do? Beats me. Oh, uranium. Uranus is my favorite planet. All right. So these guys have built something for Uranus thingy. And it happens also, probably have some nice, face masks for COVID. And I'm sure all sorts of other stuff. It's going to be fantastic. By all means, play it. No, I'm just kidding. Look, there is a breakout on it. The float's only 5 million. If it wants to go and the setup is there, it can definitely go. You just gotta be mindful of the setup. Like when you take one of these little guys, right, little boys, what you really want to do is more like when you hit them intraday, hit them more like an Abio type way. So if you look at Abio, what it did was it gapped up, and then you have this nice easy kind of pullback. Right into, nice, easy, go lucky pullback into the 9. You start to hold a little bit. And then, when you start to come out of range, you can take it and then now your risk is a little bit, you might be risking, say, 30, 40 cents versus, risking dollars. And then you can get a nice shred out of these kind of things. But the key is, and you just got to know they always come back, right? Because they're turds and... there's not my type of thing to buy, but that's how you're going to play them if they start to go. It's got the volume in it. It looks like it's already got 2 million shares of volume. So if you do want to partake, I would wait just a little bit and take a setup like it was in Abio, where it just rounds out just enough where, you're feeling pretty good about managing the risk. And then you'll be good to go. Does that make sense? Cool. Jeez, this is off range. Chunk. All right, so let's talk about just the general watch list, and then we'll get this going. So we'll go top plays for today. The top. All right. VTIQ is number 1. We were up on this thing yesterday. Fuck, man, I had a couple thousand of these things sitting around over here. Fuck that up. Should have held some. Right, can't you always say that, though? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Now, we've been knee deep in this thing for the last 2 days. This is your quintessential kind of breakout. Now, it is on a day 3 of the move, so I can't chase this thing up too high. Ideally, what we want to do is watch this thing settle up right at the open. We just need a same kind of consolidation as yesterday. See how yesterday it gapped up and it took 20 minutes. It came back down, tested support, it started to hold. You started to build out a really nice level of range, and then it took off. The stock's got enough range where you just got to wait for it a little bit, and when it tightens up, you can hit it with some good size. But the thing is, because there's a little bit of a spread on it, if it doesn't tighten, then you're really left holding the bag. So you got to watch your size if it's not tight. If it's tight, you can size in. If it's loose, then you got to trade at a half size and kind of scale into it. But this is probably my favorite for today, but only on a pullback. I won't chase this thing higher due to the fact that the move started at 27. So it's day 1. Always remember this, guys. Day 1, day 2 of a move. Anytime you have a breakout, day 1, day 2, always the easiest. Day 3, day 4s, they can be played, but the nuances of how you enter them change. You can't chase them up at strength too much. PDD, I think today's the day. Yeah, 1 test, 2 tests. This will be 3rd test today. Today could be the day. Now, these little bastards have kind of ruined it with this stupid gap on it. I would have rather taken this thing into the 68 spot, but, you know, it's holding over yesterday's high, which is good. I think, well, we should have a full-blown attack on this thing around 69. It's a nice number, right? This is number 2 for the day. So VTIQ number 1, PDD number 2. Own him. I like this one a lot too. You got a nice breakout over here. You popped up, pulled back into the breakout spot. See how you're holding right at your 20-ish May? When you hold at when you test like multiple levels of support, like on a pullback, and then you get like, see this like kind of, it's like a reversal candle almost. That's like your quintessential pullback entry, you know. Trading pullbacks is a little bit tricky because it can be ambiguous in terms of, you know, where in the location of the chart do I buy? Well, if you have multiple levels of support that are converging and you can use price plus moving averages, now you've got like almost like a super support, and now you're going to be back off the races. The RR on this is really good too. I think we got to keep that one on watch. Now, the next 3 are, you know, only on watch for potential shorts. This GAN was $15. Now it's at 26. We may double top on this thing, you know, today even. Possible. We'll see how it reacts, but I'm watching this one for short because you start to get real long in the tooth on this one. Donkey Kong 2, I'm only watching this on a short. Now, you can see on Donkey Kong, we're up like 20 points in the last 7 days. So it's not necessarily, it's extended, but it's not necessarily parabolic. So what we're watching though is either some type of failed momentum trade, meaning like it tries to break out and then it fails, or we need it to speed up, meaning like it starts to speed up and you start to really get parabolic. It's usually when it starts to speed up but beyond what it's doing, that'll give you the signal like the short is coming. Does that make sense? So like even something like, right, like a ZM, like, you know, yesterday, like it was just kind of, you know, it was just trending. You know, to really get a good solid short more than a couple points, like you need it to start to speed up. What you need to see is like an intraday when you're trying to go counter trend and nail the top on something. What you want to see is, like, you don't want to just see it just kind of cruising up the 9 EMA and then like it break back under. I mean, that's a slow roller. What you want to start to see is the separation. The separation that indicates to you that the parabolic move is starting to commence. Like remember in shop, like when it rolled over like 100 points that day, right? Like it had like that big, you know, the big like, right? You had like the big, like you had the gap up and then go. Like it was starting, you needed that last push to get that thing going. Same thing, remember when it was over here, like it was just grinding, and then it started to really speed up, and then you got like that nasty push. So just something to kind of be mindful of when you're looking at these things. Tesla had a key breakout yesterday. I think this one, there's just no, this thing is going to be busting out to all-time highs. Like there's, you know, it's very rare you see this kind of pattern and it doesn't. Like it's probably going to bust. So now it's just a matter of location. You know, Tesla, if you can time them, even with a small amount of shares, say like 20 shares, hey, look, if it moves $50 during the day, you can still make some money, right? So even though it's a higher price stock, which scares some of you guys, you know, even if you're just trading 10, 20 shares of it, if it moves, you know, it moved 60 points yesterday, you can still have yourself, you can still have yourself a nice little go at. So I'm watching on this one for like a little bit of a dip at the open. Then we'll try to relong this one. Next one. This DRN is actually probably looks like a little swing trade. It's probably for some of you guys that like have IRAs or even smaller accounts. I don't like trading real estate stocks. Real estate stocks stink to trade. But you got a really nice range break over here. The volume's been increasing. You get your 9 EMA like a buck away. This is kind of one of those ones. If it busts loose here, this is like one of those ones, you know, you might be able to kind of tuck away 1,000 shares of it and get probably, if the market keeps going up, you got yourself, you know, some really nice upside on it. This is a 3x ETF for real estate. You got a nice range break there. I wouldn't go full size on it just yet because it has been running for a few days. You know, ideally get like one more pullback and then go. You know, because you're at an 82 stochastics while you're kind of running into the resistance. Now the market's grinding higher, so it can still go. But ideally, like, it either has like one pullback or one rest stage, just enough to keep it honest, and then it goes. And I think we'll have ourselves some fun time. What do you think of this one? Yeah, it's one of those ones. It's like this one, and you know, there's a couple of these ETFs. Soxel's another one. Soxel's not a buy yet. Only the suckers are buying this thing down here. You got to let this thing break over this trend line. If it does, then right, then you're good. Once it releases, then it's gonna trade a lot cleaner. But under it, you got to just make sure, like, you either by hitting the big dips on it and then selling into the resistance, or you're waiting for the resistance to break over. But you're right at that sweet spot where it could. I like that one too. But this one, if it busts loose too, this is like another one, you know, you throw like a couple hundred shares at it and you may have, I mean, you have a target to like 190. All right. What else we missing here? Good. So we get DRN, Soxel. Good. You know what? I've been stalking this ACMR for a little bit. I think one more pullback. This is, you can't really day trade this, but it's got really good range. This one and Nari look both like interesting swings. Swing trades, like, which means a multi-day hold. You need IPOs. If you think about like what are like the hot stocks, it's these newer stocks that have been really going. And the ones that have been really cooking are actually the ones that they're too thin to day trade, but like you can like rip a couple hundred shares and like they're a little bit thinner, but like they can go in and just go ham, you know, like even 100 shares or something like this, right? If you rip 10, 20, 30 points, they can really go. So what's the formula in all these? You know, they all have something in common, right? Most of these are like recent IPOs, and like it's the thinner ones that are doing like just like 1 million shares a day in volume. They're the ones that are just going like berserko. There's a whole list of these kind of stocks that don't even always show up on the scan because, you know, they do like 700, 800,000 shares in volume, so like you wouldn't know. And I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, yeah, you can't day trade that necessarily, but man, you can like rip like some easy swing trades with a couple hundred shares, and like, man, if you rip 10, 20, 30 points on some IPO that's like, you know, it still does enough volume. You know, a lot of days like this will do 1 million. You just can't day trade it. I mean, you could rip like thousands relatively quickly. So those are the plays that are working right now. Like if you're trying to grow your account, oh yeah. So this is, these things are red hot. I don't know what it means holding the bag since the IPO. Oh, on work. My bad, Johnny. yeah, I was thinking that too, on work. I thought you were looking at the other one. Cool. So that's our list of, you know, Donkey, VTIQ, PDD, Tesla, Onem. Then we got Donkey Kong, GAN, And I think we get work short. Just one more push. Look at this thing. One more push. 41.65. We'll be able to short this piggy. You better work. Cover girl. Work it, girl. You know me. You guys remember that song? Was that 90s or 80s? Man, the 90s were amazing. CLDR, man, this one is probably long in the tooth for me. Himanshu, it's a little bit extended to buy. Okay. This Luckin Coffee's, I don't know, like it's in the news now, so probably, oh man. Probably a turd. Pass. Let me see. A lot of you guys are liking this oil, huh? Man, oil stinks to trade. Like, if you're in a swing trade on it, good. But now, like, you know, oil's been trending for a little bit of time, so the easy money's probably made on oil. It doesn't mean it can't go. Like, you can see here, like, you still got, like, a little bit of something or other. But, like, I wouldn't say that's, like, a priority. You've got a range break here in this USO. So, like, it is setting up. Just, you know, I think the easy money's probably over on oil. But you do have some upside on it, Anshul. So, if you're in, I think it's, like, more like a hold. But, you got 2 more points on it. So, that's our list. I'm sticking to it. Ooh, and guys, so thank you for coming into Sunday's webinar, all you YouTubers. That was awesome. We had a fun time. What do we go over? Oh, yeah, how to play top 25 stocks. That was pretty fun. I think the replay is on. I didn't put the replay on the YouTube, but I'll email it to you, or I send it out to everybody in their emails.